Hey guys, Wix100 here, and this is the last of the basic C# tutorials that I will be doing. I will be moving on to more specified things next week, and so this week I'm going to be talking about dialogues. And so dialogues are those small windows that pop up in an application for like selecting a file or a folder or a font or a color or any basic use. There are many uses for a dialog, but I'm going to be going over the built-in dialogues that are provided with Visual Studio. So as always, let's create a new project and a Windows Forms application.net, and then dialog controls, and in my GitHub folder, and create. And so let's type in dialog. And so as you can see, there are many dialogues that are provided. So let's put in a ColorDialog. Actually, let's scroll down to the dialog section so I don't need to keep typing in dialog. A FolderBrowserDialog, FontDialog, open and save. I'm not going to deal with the print dialogues in this tutorial. And so let's rename them with our properties window and call it EXColorDialog. And actually, let's change that. Let's not create them down here, because there's actually a better method. So if you create them here, then they are going to be constantly taking up memory. But if you create them with the code, then they're only temporary and actually saves you memory in the long run. With a small project, it doesn't matter as much, but if you're doing a big project with lots of files and variables and dialogues, then you're going to want to save more memory. So let's just create the different buttons and text boxes for now. So text box, button, and label. So let's arrange these. Let's make my button slightly bigger so I can actually see the text. And then let's go like that. So let's actually change the text on the label. So there's color, copy, let's arrange it there, color, font, open, save, and folder. Did I get all of those? Color, folder, font, open, and save. Yes. Okay, so let's put a colon after color. Open, save, font. I'm missing one. Color, font, open, and save and folder. Oh, I just created an extra one. Okay. And resize this to be smaller. Okay. So let's just say choose, because that's the space we have. and say color button, color text box, folder button, folder text box, rename all of these essentially. Open button, open text box, save button, save text box, font button, font text box. Okay, and then change the folder open and save to say browse. I guess all of these can say browse because they're not browsing files, but they are browsing fonts and colors as well. So let's start with the color. So to get the button function, you double click, and so say color dialog cd equals new color dialog. No, not color. And cd.show dialog. And that's actually a method. And then say color text box dot text equals cd dot color, which is the selected color by the user, dot r. Actually, before we put in the r, let's do parenthesis plus comma space plus cd.color.g plus comma space plus cd.color.b plus closing parenthesis and then semicolon at the end. So folder, let's copy this and put folder browse dialog. Nope, that's not what it's called. What is it called? Folder browser dialog equals new folder browser dialog, and change cd to fbd. Again, this can be called whatever they want. It's just what I decided to call it. Folder, that needs to be capital F, and do fbd dot what would be what we want. I guess selected font path. That would not. I don't really use. Oh yes, that's a folder. Why do I keep thinking it's a font? Yes, selected path is definitely what we want. Okay. Open browser dialog, or open file dialog. Open, no, I want to select you. Open file dialog, OFD, and OFD dot file name. And then save would be the same thing. And actually, let's copy from OpenFileDialog so it's less that we have to change. Save and save, and that becomes an S, and that becomes an S, and that becomes an S. And then font browser or font. Yeah, you know what it is. So change this to FontDialog. FD dot font dot name. And something I forgot to do, which I'm sure some of you noticed, is this should be open text box, and this should be save text box, and this should be font text box. And so with each of these, this creates the dialog just like creating any other object or variable. This shows the dialog, it makes it appear on your screen, and this sets the text box value to whatever is in the dialog. So this, I formatted it myself by, instead of just making it equal the color, I formatted it with parenthesis, red, comma, green, comma, blue. With the folder dialog, it's just the folder path. With the open dialog, it's the file name. With the save dialog, it's the file name as well. And with the font dialog, it's the font's name. And so if we start this, it's right here. And so browse, let's just choose that 0 255 0. I can browse again, 255 128, and actually if I go here I can set the specific 45 556 159. Okay, 45 56 159. With the folder, let's just choose desktop, it's easier. And so there's the path to my desktop. With the open file, let's go into my personal files. Let's choose that. Okay. And so it's that path to that file. With the save, the difference between an open and a save is the open chooses an existing file. A save looks at, it actually doesn't want you to choose an existing file. And so let's do that. And so the gibberish.ghr that I typed, GHR isn't actually a real thing to my knowledge, but I accepted it. And actually with more advanced uses of the open and save file dialogs, you can actually specify what file types it'll accept. And so with the font dialog, let's hit browse, and Let's go with the font that I like to use the most. Grow bold. Let's strike out. That actually won't change anything in the text box because all it's going to look at is this part because of how I put it. And actually, no, it did not. What is wrong? Only true type fonts are supported. Okay. I did not actually know that because I don't use FontDialogs very often. So let's try that again. Apparently, my standard font is not true type. There we go. The font that it starts off with is valid. Microsoft Sans Serif. There we go. So there were the basics with Dialogs. So hope you enjoyed. Links are down in the description. Go check everything out. Till next time. Bye.